Awesome. So at ULM, y'all just have the bachelor's
Right.
program?
And we do have a LPN to bachelor. So we have several students who come to us as a LPN. They've gotten that from wherever, and they can skip a few courses that they've had in nursing
But it's not
school.
going to cut it in half for them.
No, it'll reduce it by a semester or so. And then we have a new agreement, which I would not be the person to say all the details correctly, but a new agreement with community colleges, specifically Delta, that if you knew at some point you wanted to come to pursue a 4-year degree or your master's later and you wanted to go to Delta first, for whatever reason, time, money, we have an agreement with them that if you know that ahead of time, you take a certain track at Delta, and it just is more of a fast track when you get to ULM.
Yeah, I did read that.
You don't have to do prereq, like your prereqs and all that are
Covered.
done. Yes. So it's financially beneficial because it cuts some classes off.
Sure.
And time beneficial. So I would advise anybody who thinks they're interested in starting out at Delta to inquire more about, like, so if I change my mind in the future and want to let me do the things I need to do to be prepared to go to.
Yeah, maximize your
ULM.
time and your credits and all that good stuff. So what do you think, and I know you probably don't have all the answers of how y'all's program relates to other, not only programs that are in our general area, but across the state. What's a couple of things you think makes ULM's program great?
If you're going to talk about whether a workplace is great, a student environment's great, a program, to me, it's always going to be people, So I think we have a great faculty team. I think ULM, huge credits to them is very accessible. Now, I want to say the word affordable, and I would preface that with I have one that's 16 that'll be going to college soon, and the truth is college is very expensive, way more expensive than when I was there. But so yes, it's expensive, but if you want to look at
the big picture,
yes,
it's affordable.
ULM is affordable.
Yeah,
and I would encourage people as well anybody who might think college is off the table for me because I can't afford it, to talk to people. Like don't just accept, what you think, to stop your dreams. Like have conversations with people, talk to people in financial aid. I see all the time, like at my son's high school, they'll have classes on how to fill out a FAFSA form. I mean, that's one basic step that you have to do to be able to get any federal aid, whether that be TOPS. And we are so blessed to live in Louisiana where you do have TOPS. Now, that doesn't cover everything.
Sure.
But man, it
helps.
It's a help. So you can't get TOPS if you don't fill out FAFSA. You can't get grants if you don't. So there are basic steps to take, but it all take help where there's help. Where there's these classes to fill that out, do that. If you're not sure am I eligible for a grant, talk to somebody in financial aid. Don't just accept this is not for me. Like it is so accessible.
Yeah,
it really
and that's
is.
something else I would encourage parents and future students that may want to go to college, and that is start early with that stuff. Gone to probably like you have a lot of graduations when they start reading off scholarships the kids got. Like somebody's like, well, $500 is not much for a scholarship they got, but when they start reading off and they got like $2,500 scholarships, I mean, that stuff adds up pretty quick.
Right.
So I think that there's opportunity for people. I do agree with you that advanced education is expensive, but I do think if somebody applies themselves, they can make it a whole lot less expensive without running up a whole lot of student debt. In real estate, that's one of the biggest things that we see is an inhibitor of people to get a home loan. It's just they're overburdened with student loan debt. And in some cases, you look at it and you don't want to be a discouragement to them, but they didn't finish school to get their degree, and they've got so much debt, and I just don't see a way for them effectively to get a leg up unless they have a windfall. So be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, kids need to be careful with that.
And that is one thing I would love to say about nursing and about ULM specifically. Now, let me preface, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. ULM has lots of good degrees. I don't know about the other degrees as well. what I want to say in favor of nursing, and we call it health sciences. So that might be, a medical laboratory scientist, an occupational therapist, a physical
Sure.
therapist, a speech therapist. There are so many. ULM is a jackpot of health science degrees. I mean, you're not going to go to, you go to McNeese, where I went, and it has an awesome nursing program, but they do not have the health science degrees that we have. There's so many careers to choose from. So what I would say about nursing and about health science is my favorite thing about it is you're very employable. And we talk about that. I'm on a committee where we kind of, we evaluate things, how many people graduate from our program, how many people are employed, et cetera. And that stuff matters to accrediting bodies, to state, all these people, because they want to know what's your student debt in relation to what your income potential is. Do you have $100,000 in student
So
debt and you
that's-
can't get a job?
That's really good to know that y'all look at that and study that.
Yes. So it's very interesting. And so when we talked about how I got into nursing too, I would say I grew up in the country. My mom and dad are super intelligent, like abnormally intelligent. My mom didn't finish college because she was too shy. My dad needed to work, so
Sure.
he didn't finish. So he worked at the electrical plant in town. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for a long time and the secretary, but they had 3 children, and they were very intentional about, we want you to go to college, and we want you to finish college, and we want you to get a job. And when you graduate college, we're cutting the reins, you're on your own. So it was good encouragement. And at the same time, there was the pressure of, this is till I get my bachelor's, and then you got to figure out a way to support yourself,
But I think that's healthy.
It was super healthy.
I think we kind of lost a little bit of that.
Super healthy. And
along
so
the way.
the interesting thing is, my dad's an electrician, my mom's a secretary, and all 3 of their children ended up in the medical field. I'm a nurse. My sister's an occupational therapist. My brother's got a master's in radiology technology. So I think it's interesting. I'm saying that to say I don't know that we were groomed to like healthcare,
Right.
but I think all 3 of us, in light of how we were raised and in light of wanting to get a job, health sciences seemed the natural good. So that's, again, I'm not knocking any other degrees.
Oh, no. I'm with you.
We need all the degrees at ULM, and there's lots of great jobs you can get. That's just a huge plug for health sciences. I
Sure.
mean, you can get a
Well,
job.
I can